Hi guys, Brexit alert, Brexit alert. Nigel Farage believes Brexit is under threat once again. Why? Because on Tuesday, David Lammy, the Labour MP and member of the front bench, was delivering a speech on Europe. Farage is desperate to keep the threat to Brexit alive in the minds of the public. But why? I believe he still thinks there's fuel in the tank for his pet project, the Reform UK Party. They want to push the Tories further to the right, cut environmental protections, tear up workers' rights, deregulate financing and banking. Disaster capitalism on steroids. But let's listen to the latest threat to Brexit.
This is a full-on Brexit alert. David Lammy giving a big speech today on behalf of the Labour Party. Lammy, of course, a fanatical Remainer and rejoiner. Now, of course, he says, we won't be rejoining the single market, we won't be rejoining the European Union, but we want to rejoin absolutely everything else. Security cooperation, foreign policy, environmental policy, scientific research. He wants to sign us back to virtually every aspect of EU membership. He wants us to have a normal relationship with our neighbours. What he means is he wants us effectively to go back to the same servile position we were as members of the European Union. And all of this happening because nearly 7 years on from the referendum, the Tories have not delivered a proper Brexit. They've opened the door for Labour to do this. It is a disaster. We'll see what the speech says today precisely, and I'll come back to you.
Okay. First of all, servile. The UK used to be a rule maker. Now it's a rule taker because of Brexit, because of the Brexit that Nigel Farage wanted. Now, of course, he's talking here about, we don't want a closer relationship with the EU, because if we have a closer relationship with the EU, we're basically members, which is a pile of crap. For example, Asia security cooperation, EU increases engagement on security in and with Asia. So Asian countries have a security agreement with the EU. Does that mean that they're members of the EU? Does that mean that they have lost their sovereignty? Utter rubbish. For example, China, general cooperation with China on environmental issues, environmental policy dialogue with China. If the EU and China have agreements on the environment, does that mean that China is a member of the EU? Has China lost its sovereignty and is no longer a sovereign nation? Once again, complete and utter rubbish. And then Europe's energy security and EU-US cooperation. Once again, if the US and the EU are cooperating on energy, for example, does that mean that the US has lost its sovereignty, that it's a rule taker, not a rule maker? Complete and utter rubbish. But what is he doing? It's an attempt to scaremonger. Once again, look, Brexit is under threat. You need to vote for the Reform UK Party. They're the only ones who will save Brexit. The Labour Party want us to go back into the EU and the single market. We have to stop that. The Conservative Party have abandoned Brexit. They have betrayed Brexit. The Reform UK Party is the only one who will save us. This is what he wants you to believe. And of course, as I've said, the whole goal of the Reform UK Party is not really to get into government. They're hoping to pick up a few seats. It's a bit iffy at the moment whether they will actually win any seats. But the goal of the party is not really to win a number of seats and get into government. It's to push the Tories further to the right, to push them to deregulate, to cut back on environmental protections, to sweep away workers' rights. That's what it's about. They don't care about government. They're presenting policies that are completely ridiculous. They have no real plan. It's just rhetoric. And now it's coming down to Brexit once again. As I said, I think Farage thinks there's still some fuel in the tank when it comes to Brexit. There are still a few people out there who think it was a good idea and that it's under threat and it needs to be defended. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.